You can see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, good. So yeah, last time we have talked about abstraction, and we said that abstraction could be achieved with two different ways. One of them is abstract class. We discussed about the abstract class, and we had some coding examples of the abstract class. Okay. And this time, yeah, and we also discussed also about abstract methods, which is included, it may be included in abstract class or in interface. The second way, which we will be talking about today, is interface. Interface is our second way to achieve abstraction in our Java program. Okay, so what is an interface? It's, in a simple words, interface is something like class, okay, but it's created only for abstract methods, okay? Like you cannot put any implementation inside interface, okay? So an interface in Java is a blueprint of a class. It has static constants and abstract methods only. Like all members of interface are either abstract methods or some static constants. No other, no any kind of implementation could be held in an interface. Okay. Then uh, in an interface, only
No
abstract
body.
in an interface, only abstract methods are allowed, not normal methods. It's normal. I just told you, like interface cannot hold any kind of implementation. And a normal method, of course, has implementation in its body. So this one is not allowed in an interface. Like all methods in interface should be abstract methods. You have any question
There's no
from the
body.
past?
There's no body in the method there.
Yes, there is nobody in the method, only the method uh, signature or the method header as an abstract class. Okay, abstract method, sorry. Okay, but normal method is not allowed in interface. Okay,
Yeah.
and yes, inheritance, it allows abstraction or achieving abstraction, and also it allows multiple inheritance. And keep that in mind. We will see some examples later on. Okay, because I don't want you to get somehow confused. And interface, how to declare an interface using the keyword interface. Okay, it provides total abstractions, means all methods in interface are with empty body, and all fields are public static point. Okay, then what is the relation between a class and interface? That's an important question. Okay, so interface should be implemented, okay, by a class. Like the same as abstract class, we said in abstract class, it should be a parent class that has some children, and these children will give the implementation of the abstract methods inside the abstract class. Do you remember? We mentioned
Mhm.
that. Okay, same in interface. Interface has all its members are some abstract methods which are waiting for some classes to implement, okay, this interface and then override these methods and give them implementation. So the relationship between a class and interface, that class can implement an interface. And when I say implement interface, it means that the class will override all the methods inside this interface to give them implementation. You understand?
Yeah, kind of.
Let me give you an example, real world, okay? This is like frequently used as a term in also in programming or in software. Interface sometimes is called a contract. Do you know how interface can be considered as a contract? What is a contract in real life?
What is what?
Contract. You know,
Mhm.
contract,
Yeah.
like there, for example, two people, okay, they have agreement, so they put this agreement on a paper and then they sign or seal this paper, so it becomes a contract, right? What is the
Right.
idea behind the contract?
Transaction.
That this person who signed on this contract force himself, okay, to imply all points mentioned in this contract, right?
Hmm.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the idea of contract, right?
Right.
Okay. Same also in interface. When a class implement an interface, okay, it forces itself, okay, to override all methods inside this interface. You understand the link?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of.
And we will see, of course, some examples in codes. Yeah. So here is the syntax of how to create interface. So here, to create an interface, it's exactly the same as class. Instead of using the class keyword, we'll use the interface keyword here. Following this interface keyword, we'll put the interface name here. And this interface name also should begin with uppercase letter. Okay? You understand?
Yeah.
Brother,
Mhm. Yes.
yeah, okay. Then after you put the interface name, then you should open two curly brackets like this, opening one and closing one, that indicate here the interface body. Okay? Inside this body, here in this area, okay, you can put your abstract methods or your constants. Only these two types are allowed in interface, either abstract method or constant. Okay,
Mm. Right.
so that is a declaration of the syntax of interface. Uh, like this one shows you what happens behind the scene when you create an interface. Imagine that you have an interface like this on the left side, interface called printable. Okay, and it begins, as you can see, with capital letter, opening and closing curly brackets. So this one is the body of my interface. I have here abstract method called print. Okay, and as you can see, it has no body. It ends with semicolon. Okay, void print and semicolon. Here int min equal 5. So this is the code that you as programmer type in printable in any interface. Okay, but this code by default will be shifted to this one on the right side. The void print will be by default declared as public abstract. As you can see here, print method is an abstract method, and we didn't use the abstract keyword. Why? We don't have to, because it's by default abstract method. You understand?
Mhm.
It's by default abstract. That's why we don't have to add the abstract keyword to the void print method. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Also the same happen for int main equal 5. It's shifted to public static final int main equal 5. I know that we still didn't discuss about the public and final. We will discuss them later in this course. Okay. We already discussed about the static keyword, but in general, this min or like this constant in interface cannot change its value. You cannot edit the value stored in this constant. Like from the name constant, it has one value stored in this constant, and this value cannot be replaced with a new one. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
the idea behind constant. So
I know.
the interface only holds constant or abstract methods. That's all, nothing more. Okay.
Hmm.
And yeah, as I told you, we'll discuss later about public and final keywords later on.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have to discuss about the relationship between class and interface. You already know, and when we, you know, explain the inheritance, we said that a class can extend another class. Okay, or a class can inherit the properties and the behavior of another class using the keyword extends, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the same, exactly the same can happen between two interfaces. Like if I have two interfaces, one called A, one called B. So these two A and B, I may create an inheritance relationship between these two interfaces. I may say interface A extends B, or interface B extends A, which means that interface B will inherit all members in interface A. Like, for example, in this interface printable, if I make this interface printable, a parent interface, and I create a new interface called uh, C or called B, whatever, and I make this interface B extends printable, this means that the void print and the int min, okay, will be automatically accessed in interface B. You understand?
Hmm.
Because there is an inheritance relationship between the interface printable and the interface B. You understand?
Hmm.
Yeah, okay, great. Okay, so this one is the relationship between classes. The one on the right side are inheritance between interfaces. The one in between is the relationship between the class and interface. And as I told you, by the class could implement interface. Like I cannot say class A extends interface B. This cannot happen. You cannot inherit an interface in a class, okay? But you can implement an interface, okay, in a class. So here when I say class A implements interface B, this means that class A will override all methods in interface B. You understand?
Yeah.
Again, here in the interface printable, if I create a class called class A and I make class A implements printable. So once I make class A implements printable, it forces class A to override this print method here. You understand?
Mhm.
Okay, great. I think that's all about the interface. Let's have some uh, code examples of interface.